Greetings, all you Jackson Jennets, and welcome to your daily dose of donkey with Ginger. It's your boy, the Viking Donkey, bringing you the Power Index, Power Rankings from Donk Nation. Blaskers, Gingy, of course, involved in that, given their top tens. Love to hear community feedback on it. But without further ado, let's start today by honoring the late, great Franco Harris, who passed away this week. Give him a little moment of your time, a thought, as the Mackett reception anniversary is coming up to 50 years. The game's going to be happening on Saturday, and the Steelers might have just got a little more motivation to do it one last time in the honor of Franco, the man who, of course, caught the immaculate reception and the man of Steeler lore, as you know, if you've ever been to Pittsburgh Airport, because you'll see him there. But let's go ahead and break into the Power Index. We'll start at the bottom, move pretty quick, 32 through 20, as these are the teams who mostly don't have a chance of making the playoffs at this point of the year. Started at the bottom with Houston, actually took Kansas City to overtime, but came up just a little bit short. Right above them, Chicago, and apparently Justin Fields can't draw flags like all the other quarterbacks, as Dominic Sue got away with a late hit on him that could have really changed the outcome of that game for them. Arizona, they end up down two quarterbacks, so no chance of getting a win there, and helping out Denver in some ways, you could say. Right above them, you have the Rams, as Baker didn't have any magic left this week after his performance last week on Thursday. Or above them, you have the Colts. I don't even know what to say about this. 33-0. You thought Matt Ryan's Super Bowl collapse was a great one, and it will go down as one of the greatest blown leads ever. How about he gets a chance with Indy and gets the biggest blown lead in NFL history on his resume now. Right above them is Denver. No Russell Wilson, no problems. The Broncos come out with a victory. Carolina's right above them, dropping down, as Sam Darnold couldn't get much going in the passing games. The Steelers shut down the Rams, or the rush, and that just stopped Carolina. New Orleans up to 25. Big win versus Atlanta keeps their playoff hopes alive. Speaking of Atlanta, they're right above them. Big loss there. They decided to start the rookie quarterback Ritter. He had a terrible game, and they lose a huge one to New Orleans. Above them is the Pittsburgh Steelers. A solid game in all facets. The pass rush was probably the only thing that was really outstanding in that game with 4 sacks, but solid, not spectacular is all you need to get the job done against Carolina. Big win for the Steelers. Tampa Bay's right above them. The big loss in Cincinnati keeps the NFC South available for any of these teams that actually wants to go on a winning streak the last 3 weeks of the year. Above them, you got the Green Bay Packers, who keep their playoff hopes alive with the win. Maybe Aaron Rodgers is starting to wake up and can make a magical run. Above them, you got the Vegas Raiders. They were gifted a win by Bill Belichick. How often can you say that the team that was least prepared and least looking well coached was a Bill Belichick team? We'll get to that later. Now, getting into 19 through 11 pretty quick, we have the Cleveland Browns. The first win of the Deshaun Watson era, had a whole whopping 13 points, but hey, sometimes that's all you need. Above them is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another huge comeback this week. Gets Dallas into overtime and ends it with a pick 6. This is a young team learning how to win there in Jacksonville. Tennessee suffers another big loss this week, and now the division might be in question. Tannehill's hurt. This could be a team really on the downfall right now. Seattle, another team that's slipping. They lost a fake football game to San Francisco, and now they're down to 500. The Cinderella might have turned into a pumpkin a little bit early in Seattle. Detroit, you want to talk about a team on fire? This Detroit team has now won 6 of their last 7 games. That's crazy impressive going on right there. What a streak, giving themselves a chance at the playoffs. Right above them is the Chargers, who won this week because, well, they didn't give up many points, but they only scored 17. A different way of doing things for the Chargers. Good to see a defense show up a little bit. Above them is Washington. The loss to New York really hurts their playoff chances, but still pretty good chance if they can get it righted, the ship that is. Above them is the Jets. They bring back Zach Wilson, but they have the same darn results. The defense plays pretty good. Offense can't score points. Above them, dropping out of the top 10, is New England to come in at 11. Bad coaching decisions on arguably the worst play I've ever seen. That run play where Stevenson laterals the ball to a wide receiver, who then decides to throw the ball backwards towards, I guess you could say, Mac Jones, but it's only Mac Jones, Chandler Jones in the end zone. He throws it straight to Chandler Jones. He gets it, scores a touchdown, wins the game. How often can you say a Bill Belichick team was poorly coached on a play, had a poor play design to end the game, and lose the game because of poor coaching and poor execution? That's weird, and that might really hurt New England's chances at the playoffs. Let's get into the top 10. Just holding on by a thread is Miami after a tough loss to Buffalo, playing in the snow. Not exactly the best elements for a Dolphins team, but gave it a good try, and for a lot, looked like they might actually get the win there. Right above them, you have the Giants with a huge win over Washington to really give them a good chance at holding on to a playoff spot. Minnesota comes in at 8. What can you say? They're coming off the biggest comeback in NFL history of 33 points. And Kirk Cousins, I have to say, I like that. I like that. Good stuff out there. Baltimore, right above them at 7. What can you say? No Lamar Jackson, no offense. They score 3 points in the loss to Cleveland. Cincy comes in at 6, taking control of the AFC North with that win over Tampa and the loss from Baltimore. San Francisco coming in at 5, 7 straight wins. Brock Purdy keeps playing turnover-free football. What can you say? They're trying to show that you don't need quarterbacks to win in this league as they're on their 3rd one of the year. Kansas City's above them. They needed overtime, but were able to hold off Houston. Dallas is right above them. Yeah, Dak turns the ball over a lot, but still they're a top 5 offense, top 10 defense. Need to get it back together. They're playing sloppy football right now. Probably should be slipping, but just the fact that they're top 5, top 10 in both units keeps them up high. At number 2, we got your Buffalo Bills. Huge win over Miami. Finally starting to solve that AFC East bugaboo they had where they cannot win. And then at number 1, of course, we got your Philadelphia Eagles. What can you say? They're staying there unless they lose, but Jalen Hurts getting injured could be a big thing. He's going to miss this week. It's going to be up to Gardner Minshew to continue the magic that's going on in Philly. If you didn't catch it, that means our biggest movers of the week were the New York Giants up 4 spots and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Carolina Panthers dropping down 4 spots. Let's get into Laskers. Let's get into Gingy's top 10. They had the same 10 teams. The only different team this week was the power rankings, like the Giants in the rankings, whereas Laskers and Gingy both like the Chargers. Ironically, the only difference teams are all ranked number 9. That's kind of fun. But Gingy, from 10 to 1, you have Baltimore. You have the Chargers. You have the Dolphins. Cincinnati at 7. Minnesota at 6. The top 5, San Francisco, the way they're playing, why not? Dallas at 4. Kansas City at 3. Buffalo at 2. Philly at 1. And then we get to Laskers. We have Miami coming in at 10, the Chargers at 9, Baltimore up to 8. They get Jackson back. Look for them to maybe make a run. San Francisco down at 7. Can't blame them there. I mean, quarterback's a huge question. Cincinnati at 6. Minnesota after that huge win breaking into the top 5. Kansas City comes in at 4. Dallas at 3. Buffalo at 2. Philly at 1. Hey, you remember the power index. Miami, New York Giants, Minnesota, Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Kansas City, Dallas. Buffalo, and of course Philly at 1, which means this week's Dog Nation Power Ranking had 2 teams drop out, but those were just teams that were tied for 10th last week. That's the Jets and New England. Ironically, no teams moved. 2 teams dropped out of 10th, but no teams actually moved in the power rankings. You have the Chargers staying at 10, Miami Dolphins at 9, Baltimore Ravens at 8, Cincinnati Bengals at 7, Minnesota Vikings at 6. Top 5 starts with San Francisco, Kansas City at 4, Dallas at 3, Buffalo at 2, and of course Philly's number 1 in the Donk Nation Power Rankings, as it's kind of fun to see that these were the same rankings as last week. So maybe we did something right between week 14 and 15. Let's see if that trend continues. Dog Nation, Steeler Nation, it's time to let you know I am the Viking Donkey. That's Viking_Donkey on Twitch and Twitter. Your daily dose of donkey with Ginger's YouTube channel where you get to catch all this fun content. If you like our power rankings, let us know. If you don't, let us know. If you want to give us your own, feel free. Like I said, we get a community one. We'll add it into the Donk Nation power rankings. But Donk Nation, Steeler Nation, make sure you catch out the bug cap this week. JD was back on. His bug took a break. We have the Steelers talk coming up. Probably going to do a little shout out to Franco on that one with Gingy and Laskers coming up on Friday. So it'll be out by Saturday. But it's that time. Wave them if you got them. Here we go.